Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the beginning of the week technical analysis. We're picking back up from the midweek analysis from last week. And let's just go ahead and jump into it and see what the markets got for us this week. Before I jump into it, as always, let me give a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is not financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans? Cool beans. With that being said, ooh, excuse me. I apologize. With that being said, let's look at. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen, y'all. Cool beans. With that being said, let's look at the DXY. All right, as always, we start out looking at the DXY to gauge the overall market. So I told you guys on the midweek analysis from last week that I did want to see the dollar continue to sell off. What made me say that Wednesday, right? Wednesday price was here, right? Price was here. And I told you guys that being that we broke aggressively to the downside, right? Below this fair value gap, that I wanted to see us continue to go down. Now, I did say that I would allot for a pullback, and I anticipated price pulling back up to that fair value gap, right? Really up into this fair value gap here, right? The imbalance of last Tuesday's price action, right? I anticipated that pullback. But overall, I told you guys Wednesday, go back and look at the recording. I told you guys that I expect the dollar to continue to sell off, to run this swing low and target this swing low here, right? Running down into this imbalance, or AKA fair value gap as coined by Michael Hurst. I told you guys that on Monday night's call. On last Wednesday night's call. Go and watch the tape for confirmation to confirm what I'm saying. It's there, right? It's there recorded. So, with that being said, I do expect the dollar to continue to sell off, right? Now, like always, I don't expect it to just keep selling. I do expect to see a correction, right, in price or AKA a pullback. And I want to see if price is going to pull back up into this imbalance here, right? So what I'm thinking we'll see out of the dollar is maybe it going ahead and maybe it go ahead and finish selling off down to the lower end of this daily fair value gap, right? Down here to the lower end of that fair value gap. Find support, and then we pull back up into this imbalance, right? And then continue lower to run this sell side liquidity, right? And if you look at this daily sell side liquidity here, you see that it's even with this low over here, right? So what is that? Fairly equal lows, right? So we know price is drawn towards those areas of liquidity whenever we're looking at our charts, right? And so ultimately, I want to see us come back down to run um this swing low from July of last year. Right? That's what I want to see us reach for, right? Ultimately, right? Not saying we're going to get there this week or next week or the week after that, but this is my target for um DXY. All right, that's my target for DXY long term. I would like to see us um I would like to see us hit here by the end of the year. So by the time these last 2 quarters in, I want to see us run this sell side liquidity from July of 2023. Cool beans? Cool beans. So we got 2 months. I mean, we got 2 quarters to achieve that. So basically what I'm saying is um I want to see some, like time, just come down and get it over the next how many months we got left in this year? Letting over the next 4 months. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for out of Bitsy, the dollar index, right? Cool beans. Are we clear on that? Everybody understand what I'm looking at and what I'm expecting out of the dollar going forward and throughout the rest of the year? Cool beans. So basically, what I'm saying is my bias for the dollar or my analysis on the dollar is to be bearish and sell off for the last part of the year, the last 2 quarters of the year, right? We're already halfway through the third quarter, right? Um, so we only really got a quarter and a half left to go before we close the year out. So within the next 4 months, I expect us to reach down and run this low from July of 2020. Cool beans? Cool beans. So with that being said, let's look at currencies, the currency pairs that we trade, which is EU, GU, and NU. Starting with EU, I told you guys last Wednesday that I wanted to see price pull back down, find a support on top of that monthly buy side liquidity, right? And continue to push higher to run um this swing high, right? And reach for this swing high and reach for this yearly. Go back and watch the tape from last week, right? So we did get that pull back and that push higher. Nice pip is over 100 something pips for that move up. So for all my currency traders out there, I hope y'all caught that bullish move last week. Same thing for GU. I told you guys last Wednesday, the last time we gathered here, that I wanted to see us pull back down into these daily PD arrays and push higher up into this fair value gap, reaching for this monthly buy side liquidity. Look at how beautifully GU pulled down into those daily PD array levels and push to the upside, right? Kissed it perfectly almost and pushed up for almost 200 pips, 194 to be exact, right? So all my currency traders out there, I mean, you should have killed it last week. Same thing with NU. Wednesday, I told y'all that I wanted to see us pull down into these weekly PD array levels and continue higher. Look how beautiful that was. Pull right down into the 62% weekly PD array, discount PD array, right? Pushed up for over 130 something pips, right? Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. So, if you guys watched the tape from last week, if review the weekly analysis and you seen the plays that I gave out or the analysis that I drew out for you guys, then you should have killed the currencies market last week. We're all trading smart money concepts, ICT concepts. We all using the same PD array levels, buy side liquidity levels. We all know how we should be marking our charts with these levels. So it's no excuse for my currency traders to have not killed it last week if you're a part of my group. So with that being said, we will keep it moving to futures. Looking at EU, last week I told you guys that I wanted to see us continue to push higher. Now I did want to see us pull back down into these daily PD array levels, right? I wanted to see us pull down into Tuesday's discount PD array levels, but we didn't get that 62 to 79% pullback. Maybe on that wick, maybe I think we got like a 20% pullback, right? 20% pullback, and we kept flying to the upside. You know, it's nothing you can do about that. You just didn't get triggered, you know, if you had your buy limit set on those levels. Now, if you know, broke it down to the 15-minute and you caught it here, somewhere in here after you seen this smart money reversal, which would be this low, high, lower low, and higher high, and wait for price to come back down into that imbalance. If you got it there or up here off of this buy side liquidity level, then good for you. Good for you. That you could have very well done that, but you would have had to break it down to at least the 15-minute and lower to catch that move. Cool beans? Cool beans. So with that being said, for this week, looking at price action today, right? We was bullish, right? The closing price of Friday's candle and the opening price of today's candle or this trading week's candle, because we know the market opened on Sunday and not today. But nonetheless, the closing of Friday's candle and the opening of this week's candle created a volume imbalance, right? Where we see two wicks run through each other, but we don't see, you know, the body and body meeting like here and here. You see how here and here there's no space, no gap in between that, but here and here there's a space between that, and we have the widths that's running through each other. That is a volume imbalance. Now, if it wasn't any widths there and it was just a gap there, no price whatsoever, that would be a liquidity void. That would mean that the market was void of liquidity during that duration of trading time, right? But when you have widths running through that gap, then that's a volume imbalance, right? And it's still a powerful level, and price is still magnetized or drawn to that level. It's an important level to make note of, to chart on your chart, because you know if price starts to go towards that area, right, then more than likely that's where price is going to, right? So if we start to see ES sell off hard, then I'm first going to be targeting these daily PD array levels. And if we push and break through those levels, it's almost guaranteed that that's where price is going. And it could go lower, but it has to go here first before it gets down here to these levels. So that's why these levels are so important. You just play price by ear and by eye, you know, and it's gonna pretty much tell you and show you what it wants to do, right? Cool beans. So I am expecting ES to give us a pullback down into today's discount PD array level, right? So I'm expecting us to come down into like 5,599, 5,590-ish for ES, right? For Tuesday's trading day. And then, you know, we'll see if we respect those levels, find support at those PD array levels and continue higher, or if we just absolutely disrespect those levels, push through those levels aggressively and close below those levels. Then I will start looking for price to start attacking the volume imbalance here and some of these daily sell side liquidities and this imbalance that we see in price here, if that was to occur, right? But if we do find support on those PD array levels, then I expect us to continue higher to run that monthly buy side liquidity for ES. Cool beans, cool beans. And the same thing for NQ. I told you guys last Wednesday that I wanted to see us pull down into these daily PD array levels and continue higher. Same thing, we got about a 30% pullback on, maybe even a 40% pullback on NQ. Oh, my bad. Yeah, we probably got about a, let me put a field on. Yeah, so we didn't quite get a 50%, about a 40% pullback for NQ, right? And then we continue higher. So that would have been another instance where you wouldn't have got triggered if your buy limits would have been here. But as with ES, you could have broke it down to the 15-minute time frame. And once you've seen a smart money reversal, like so low, high, lower, low, higher, high, wait for price to come back down into that imbalance, right? And caught it right there to continue higher, right? To run that or to run, yeah, run this swing high and to run up into the monthly PD array levels here. Because remember um that was my target, these monthly PD array levels, right? This swing high and these monthly premium PD array levels. So we got up into those levels today, right? Got up into that 62% monthly PD array level. Hadn't quite ran that 79% yet, right? And we may not, we may just drop from current price. So what I'm monitoring now for NQ, right, is to see if we do. I would like to see what I'm the play that I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to pull back down into these levels, right? And that's the only buy that I will take is if we pull down into those levels, right? Or if we break aggressively above the 79% and close above it, and then I'll look for a smart money reversal up here for price to continue to the upside, like I showed you when I broke it down to the 15-minute chart um, for ES and NQ on the continuation, right? So with that being said, yeah, I'm expecting NQ to continue. I got my eyes on this imbalance, right? And this monthly buy side liquidity. Now, if the future market is going to continue to sell off, right? If it's going to continue this sell off here, I don't want to see us I don't want to see us get above. I don't want to see us push aggressively and close aggressively above this 79% premium PDO. I want to see us stay find a resistance here, right? And start to sell back off and get below these daily PD array levels if we're going to continue this sell off, right? If we're going to continue higher, Then I want to see us pull back, retest these daily PD array levels, whether it just retests the 62 and continue higher, or if it comes all the way down to the 79 and continue higher. I'm looking for an entry off either of these levels, right? I take an entry here, stop loss below consequent encroachment, the 50% mark of these two levels, right? And if I get stopped out then I take another trade at the 79% and put my stop loss below the opening of this candle, right? And that's how I play that, right? So that's what I'm expecting out of NQ going forward to tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see what the market gives us and how it plays out and how my analysis plays out. So yeah, last but not least, let's look at crypto tonight. I want to look at Bitcoin, see what it's looking like according to my levels. All right, so I would like to see us go ahead and I would like throughout these last 2 quarters or this last quarter and a half, I would like to see Bitcoin start to fly now, right? We did our digging down, right? We did our digging down since the halving, right? The halving was here, right? We did our digging down since the halving and before the halving, right? That's what we usually do during a Bitcoin halving year, right? Start to, sell off before the halving and then after the halving, and then going into the third, fourth quarter of the year, we start to see Bitcoin start to fly. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Bitcoin start to fly, and I mainly want to see us get above the all-time high, right? 73,900. Want to see us run that high and continue higher, right? And let's look at Dogcoin, my baby, my newfound treasure. This is my newfound treasure. Um, and it's a abundant treasure, right? This treasure is going to make a lot of people very, very rich and very, very wealthy. I'm not going to say I'm going to get very, very wealthy off of it, but I'm going to get rich off of it. There's not a doubt in my mind that I'm not going to get rich off of Dogcoin, right? Because I've laid out the game plan, right? I've laid out the strategy. I've laid it out for all of my followers, all of my subscribers, all of my clients, everybody. I laid it out exactly how I'm playing this thing, right? And I've told you guys that I've shared it in the Telegram group. I've shared across all of my social media platforms exactly how dollar cost averaging and buying the dips of Dogcoin until I see fit to get out, right? And I do believe that Dogcoin is going to go to $1. Um, I don't believe that that's gonna happen this year. Um, there's a possibility that it could happen next year, but for me, a more realistic time frame for dollar to hit $1 would be more like a 3 or 4 year time. Just being realistic, but $1 is $100 billion market cap, right? So all I need for dollar, all I need dollar to do for me to get rich is about 30 or 40 billion dollar market cap. Right? And I'm rich. Multi-millionaire. So yeah, that's just my game plan and my strategy for Dog. As you can see, Dog got all the way up to 0.00978 according to Gate.io, right? That's almost $1 billion market cap, right? We was right at $1 billion market cap. We was at $978 million market cap, right? Only about 30 mil, not even 30, less than $30 million away from $1 billion market cap, right? And then we sold all the way back down to $180 million market cap. 0.0018 market cap, right? That was $180 million market cap. Now we're sitting right at a $300 million market cap, or $296 million market cap, according to current price, right? 0.0029. So that's $296 million market cap, right? So I'm telling you guys, the holder account is steadily rising, right? The hype in the profiles tweeting about dog on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Reddit is constantly rising, right? More and more sets or crypto exchanges is listing, and we've still yet to have a tier one crypto exchange listing. Guys, listen to me. When we get a tier one listing, dog is gonna absolutely rip to the upside. You hear me? All it takes is for Binance to come in and list, or Coinbase to come in and list, crypto.com come in and list. All we need is one tier one listing, and dog is going to the moon, guys. I'm not saying that it's going to $100 billion market cap, no, but we're gonna fly. We're gonna fly, and we're gonna fly high. So what I'm doing, all these levels that you see on my chart that I've shared before, these are my buy levels, right? And there, if you notice, they're at areas of swing lows, right? Areas of pullbacks, areas of what? Areas of dips, right? Dip here, dip here, dip here, dip here, dip here. That's why I'm buying, right? All this way down, I was buying, bought here, 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 right? On the way up, same thing. Price pull back down to here, I'm going to buy again, right? Now I'm just waiting for price to push up through these three levels here. Once we push up through those three levels, when price come back down and retest them, I'm going to buy there, buy there, buy there. That's what dollar cost averaging is. That's what buying the dip is. It's not just saying, damn, I got $10,000, $20,000 I want to invest and throwing it all at one time. No, you got a dollar cost average that into the marketplace, because the market is going to fluctuate. It's going to move in cycles, in perpetuity, forever. So it doesn't make sense. What if you'd have threw 20 grand in up here? You would have saw that 20 grand come all the way down to $1,800. And more than likely, you would have sold up in here somewhere around $5,000, something like that, right? Because you would have you would have already lost $10,000, $15,000. So you probably would have sold here at 5,000, right? So when you dollar cost average in and you say, okay, I got 20K I want to invest in, and you say, let's say you came in the market when at its highest peak here, right? You throw in 2,000 there, and then seeing price come down more, you throw in $2,000 here, right? And you see price come down more, you throw in another 2,000 until you throw in the whole 20,000. That's how you dollar cost averaging, right? Some people say, well, what if it would have just kept going up from there? Then you would have just been making profit from there, and then you could have waited for pullbacks once it started to pull back and then started dollar cost averaging in, right? So that's how you should dollar cost average in when you're looking to, you know, play the long game, or when you're looking to be in a market for a extended period of time. And like I told you guys at the start of this in April, in May, this I told you from the beginning that this is going to be a 8 to 18 month play, right? I really said 6 to 8 months, or 12 to 18 months play, right? So I'm looking for this thing to fly within 6 to 8 months, basically from its inception in April to the end of the year, right? If we don't fly within that time frame, within that 8 month period, then the next window is from 8 months to 18 months, right? Because that would have been from April to December is 8 months, right? If we don't fly within that time, then I'm expecting us to fly within the next 10 months, basically, right? So basically this for me is a 6 to 18 month play, right? I know that's a wide span, but that's how this could play out. It could take this thing that long to fly, right? And what I'm looking at is, when I say fly, I'm not talking about us going to $100 billion market cap, which would put dog at $1. I'm talking about us going maybe to 30 or 40 cents, right? Which would put us at a 30 or $40 billion market cap, right? Make sense? I strongly believe that we can achieve a 30 to $40 billion market cap within a year and a half of its inception, right? So that's my analysis. That's my play. That's what I'm banking on, right? Now, for us to hit $1, I've already told you guys, it could very well take us 3 to 4 years to hit $1. But if you started accumulating this year, right, and it takes us 3 to 4 years to hit $1, right, you are in the best position possible, right, to start setting your family up to become rich off of this coin, and to start to generate generational wealth off of this coin, because this coin is going to forever live on the Bitcoin blockchain forever, right? For as long as Bitcoin exists and as long as dog exists, it's going to be on the Bitcoin blockchain, right? So as long as Bitcoin continues to increase in price, dog is going to continue to increase in price. And it's going, in my opinion, it's going to increase in price far more rapidly than any testnet coin or altcoin or shitcoin that's on any other blockchain, right? So if you're buying and accumulating and dollar cost averaging into dog now, you're in the best possible position to become rich off of this play, and to start to accumulate and establish generational wealth for your family. And you might not even be here to experience the generational wealth, but you are laying the foundation and the groundwork for this empire to stand upon, right? So you are the most important piece to this this empire of generational wealth that you're trying to establish, that you can establish if you play this the right way, right? So could I be wrong about dog? Could it go to zero? Absolutely, I could be wrong. Absolutely. That is a risk that you are taking if you're going on this ride, if you're um playing this play with me, right? You are absolutely 1000% taking that risk. And I'm taking it as well. So there's got to be a risk you're willing to take. Do not, this is, again, as I said from the beginning of this class, this is not financial advice, right? This is just my opinion, just my analysis, my personal view on these markets that I've went over tonight. And for dog, um, I have a 6 to 18 month game plan. But I'm still going to be in dog even after 18 months. This is something that I probably will be invest. No, not probably. I'm most certainly 1000% going to be invested in dog until the day I die. I'm never going to cash out 100% of my assets out of the dog market and ecosystem, right? So even when I do start to take profit and siphon out profits out of the dog market, I'm always going to put um liquidity back into that market because I believe in the free and fair movement. I believe in its origins and its ethos, what it stands for. And I think that it's going to stand the test of time. I think that Dogecoin is what Satoshi Nakamoto originally envisioned for Bitcoin. I think that Dogecoin is more um trustless than Bitcoin. I think it's more decentralized than Bitcoin. I know the Bitcoin maxis and peers are gonna, you know, hang me out to dry for this, but I'm going on a limb to say that because even with Bitcoin in the beginning, you know, there were uh team allocations, so to say. Satoshi did send um um enormous amounts of Bitcoin to his his homies, right? To the other developers that was helping them with Bitcoin. And so you don't have that with Dogecoin. There was no allocation sent to any homies. The community was the homies that received the allocation, right? That received the distribution. And that's my justification for saying that Dogecoin is more centralized. I mean, I'm sorry, more decentralized um, than Bitcoin. So, yeah, I hope that sheds some light on my whole thought process behind the dog investment and the dog play. Um, and you guys just hang on for the ride, man. And let's all build this empire together. Cool beans, cool beans. Oh yeah, also they just approved Dubai just approved for its residents to get paid in Bitcoin now. So if Dubai did it, I think a lot of other countries and nations are going to follow suit. And we already know it won't be long before America follows suit. You know, they're going to try to usher in their CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and, you know, make everybody digital slaves. I mean, we're already digital slaves as it is. But if you want to break the cycle, you know, get your hardware wallets, be a master of your own bank, be a master and controller of your own financial um, moves. and the things that you do finance wise. Um, and so you can have your own keys to your own bank accounts and have 100% control and sovereignty over your assets and finances. So we may become rebels, we may become outlaws. It may even I could even see America going as far as to outlawing and banning hard wallets, cold storage wallets, right? Because they know you can keep Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on there that they can't necessarily control, right? They're going to want you using their central bank digital currencies, and that's just that. So it may be a felony in the future to hold and control a hard wallet. But hey, I've been a rebel all my life, and that's just the risk I'm willing to take. So, with that being said, I hope these analyses, these breakdowns, and even my rant add some kind of value to you guys' life. And if they do, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps out a lot. And most of all, as I say on every call, every meeting, I appreciate you guys coming out, tuning in, getting this knowledge, and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here, please. And as always, peace and love, everyone. You know.